Hi, it's me, Abby, and I'm excited to take you on a little botany walk and introduce you to some of our wild herb friends and teach you about the botany. So let's check it out. All right, who do we have here? Well, we have some chickweed. Can you see that? It's getting pretty leggy. It's getting kind of old, and we can look at it a little more closely. I'll pick some for you. Here's a big one. And we can see that it has opposite leaves. And if we could see it a little bit closer, we could see that it has a line of tiny vertical hairs on one side of the stem, and then it switches to another side when it gets to a joint, or what's called a node, so where the leaves join the stem. And then we can see it kind of forks like this, and then up at the top it's starting to get little seed pods because some of them have flowered already. So that is chickweed. And if we come over here, I'll show you my favorite shrub growing right by the river, its favorite place. And this is elderberry. And so if we look at elderberry, we can see that it has a compound leaf. So this is one leaf and it has multiple leaflets. So each one of these that looks like a leaf is actually a leaflet. And then if we look closely at the stem, we can see that it has little bumps, or some people call it warty. And then we can zoom out a little bit, get the whole view of the elderberry shrub. So there it is. Now I'm going to show you a few more weedy herbs. So here's a better look at chickweed. You can see the flowers down there, and they look like they have 10 petals, but they're actually 5, and each one is divided down the middle. It's a little tricky. And there is good old ground ivy right here with those little tiny purple flowers, and the opposite leaves with the square stem. And then right here we have cleavers. So I'm talking about this right here, not the grass. Kind of attached right now because that's what they do. They cleave onto things because they've got sticky hairs. Not sticky like gross and gooey, but sticky like they're barbed and they grab onto things. And these actually have what are called whorled leaves, so W-H-O-R-L-E-D, whorled. So they have more than 2 leaves growing at the same spot on the stem. Can you see that? So there is cleavers. And then right over here, there is some blackberry. And you might be saying, but Abby, how do you know that it's blackberry and not another berry like raspberry? And the way that I know is because if you look at this stem, can you see that it has ridges in it? And so raspberry stems do not have ridges in them. And we can see the thorns, and we can see that it also has compound leaves as well. So some of these compound leaves have 3 leaflets. Sorry for all the wind. This is one species of plantain, the wild weedy plantain, not the banana. Most of you probably know plantain, but this one is one that a lot of people don't know is a separate species. And sometimes it's called Rugel's plantain or Plantago rugelii. Bluebell wants to say hi. Hi, Bluebell. And the reason that I know that is because can you see how the stems of the leaves are red at the bottom? Well, this species is actually a native plantain species. Pretty awesome. And there is another one that looks just like this that's broad-leaved plantain, but it does not have the red at the bottom of the stems. And then there's also the narrow-leaved plantain, which we'll see in a bit.